Alright guys, I think it goes without saying that all shoes are not created equal. And even down to the materials, we know that all materials aren't created equal. You can hold two pieces of leather in your hands and decide which one is better based on the feel. And that's something that's become really common with something like Jordan 1s, where a Jordan 1 colorway is announced, and the first thing on my mind at least, and I think the mind of a lot of people's, is that is the leather going to be good? Because sometimes the leather is suspect, sometimes it is buttery and smooth, sometimes it's pebbled and beautiful. We just don't know from release to release. So it kind of depends on the batches, kind of depends on where it was sourced. But when you go for a higher end sneaker, there are expectations that need to be met, especially when that sneaker or shoe or whatever the case, even a bag, a wallet, is made with higher quality leather. And that brings us to today's sneaker, the Jordan 3 Animal Instinct 2.0. I gotta say, if all we're doing is judging the quality of the leather, this shoe is a knockout. But first, let's take a closer look. Alright guys, welcome back, and now that you've seen a closer look, welcome to the channel. My name is Steve. We talk sneakers on this channel, and I hope you will consider joining us by hitting that like and subscribe on the journey to 10,000 subscribers. I'm really excited to get to that point. We already passed 1,000, which I thought was impossible, but here we are, and I appreciate all your love and support in the past and going forward. I respond to all the comments, so drop a line telling me what you think about these sneakers right here. Now let me tell you what I think about these Jordan 3's Animal Instincts. You may remember the first Animal Instinct pair that dropped not too long ago, a collage of different prints and textures and high-end materials, and that is kind of the rub when it comes to these sneakers right here. You are looking at a $250 price point at retail for a pair of Jordan 3's done in leather, and now you get these reptilian style prints, but you aren't actually getting reptile skin, nor should you really want it, but you're not getting that for a $250 price point. But the point is that you're getting what appears to be a higher end sneaker. So does it feel like a higher end sneaker? What are some of the things that Nike has to do to convince you of that? So for me personally, to the touch, the leather has to feel good. So just kind of rolling my hands all along this sneaker here, this feels like such better leather than what you get on most Nike releases, and you can tell it's been treated and stamped much better than what you get on like a typical Jordan 1 or a typical Air Max or whatever the case. This has premium feel to it, and one of the things that signifies to me that the leather is premium is its rigidity. So this feels, especially along the toe box and along the side of the upper here where this black scaly print leather is, this feels a lot like the type of leather you might get on a dress shoe. It's a little bit stiffer, it holds up a little bit better. Now it doesn't mean it's not going to crease, it eventually still does, but it has that feel. Even with my foot in the shoe, like feeling it through my feet, that had that little bit of a dress shoe feel to it. So that to me is a big signifier right there, that this is a higher quality leather, or better produced leather, I should say. And overall, the shoe looks fantastic in terms of manufacture, stitching, all of that, as it should. I mean, this is a shoe that is definitely going to be closer inspected for flaws by the consumer because of the price point that it's at. So I mean, the eyelets are nice and clean, the stitching patterns all look nice and straight. I really like how there are some red eyelets down here, they blend in really well, and then you go up into a more snakeskin type of gray leather near the middle of the laces, up to some yellow eyelets at the top. That blend of the black with these little hits of yellow and red on the sneaker are done very well. This isn't too flashy of a sneaker despite all the different patterns, textures, and colors going on here, because you have black, yellow, red, you even have green in certain spots, even some brown. So it's all kind of earthy tones in a way, but the yellow and the red are pretty bright. So this could have gone off the rails quickly. They did a good job at keeping this subdued and tastefully done. And of course, capping it off with a nice contrasting white midsole is always the best, in my opinion, in most cases. And you still get the visible air, and you still get all of those classic elements of a Jordan 3, so you are unmistakably looking at a Jordan 3 despite all the colors and patterns and textures trying to kind of distract you. But looking at the toe around the mudguard here, it is done in a snakeskin type of pattern, and it looks pretty good. I mean, you know these things are all synthetic, but it looks nice, it looks legitimate. And then above that, it looks like what I think is supposed to be a crocodile or alligator type skin that's got the larger embossed pattern on there, little bumps you can kind of really feel as you rub your hands across the sneaker. And then again above that is more of the scaly type of animal print, and that encompasses the majority of the upper, and 3 different textures, 3 different animals per se, animals I should say with air quotes, and it really does come together nicely, and the colors aren't too varied here, so that's part of the reason why it works. But then when you go up to the tongue, you get a gray snakeskin that I think looks fantastic. I think a shoe with just this, or elements of just this kind of all over the upper, would look fire. And something like a Jordan 4, maybe even this done in a 13 would look phenomenal. And this looks really good. I think the tongue with the red embroidered Jumpman might be one of my favorite elements, if not my favorite element on this shoe. I think overall this really sets it off and gives it that much higher end feel because of the contrast between the black and the gray, and the way that just pops looks fantastic. One other hallmark of a nice pair of shoes, even really nice pairs of leather boots will do this for you as well, is you get coated laces. So these laces have a little bit of a sheen to them. Now the trick is they're not any nicer than regular shoelaces, but they coat them with some kind of plastic material, something like that, to give them a sheen, a little bit more durability, and they just kind of look nicer. Now, I would prefer leather laces. I think that would look fire as well. So if you had some nice flat leather laces going through here, I think that would look really nice, but also not as practical. Leather laces are kind of a pain in the ass to tie and tighten too, so this is gonna work. These nice coated laces are nice, and you get 2 different pairs as well. You get a red and a yellow pair of laces included. One of the things that a lot of regular sneakers will fall short on because of cost and things like that is the interior, the lining around the heel collar and the back of the tongue. On this shoe in particular, they do this really nicely with a satin finish. It's got a nice shine to it. It's very smooth. It feels great. And on the back of the tongue, you've got a red satin finish that's got Instinct embroidered into it. Instinct 2 actually, because this is the Instinct 2.0. And that is just one of those little detail things that sets this off and is what's to be expected at a price point like this. Moving along the back, around the heel counter here, you have the brownish cement pattern. Looks like the cement pattern you see on like the OG classics, like the white cements, the black cements. That's that cement looking pattern, but done in a brown. And then you have yellow all along the back with the Jumpman. I think it looks great. You've got the Jumpman with the air just below that. It's all embossed, it's clean, and it kind of sets a different tone on the heel than the rest of the shoe. So when I hold it up like this, and you are looking at the heel of the shoe, that looks like it could be a completely different shoe from this side, right? I mean, these colors really do make a difference, and I think that's kind of cool. It's a tale of 2 shoes in some ways. That takes us to the outsole, which has those hits of red and yellow. Classic Jordan 3 outsole. Not much to say there. I mean, this is going to have pretty much the same kind of performance characteristics of a Jordan 3, but you're not going to be wearing these to perform, I don't think, because one of the other things is this is heavy. And I haven't had a pair of Jordan 3s in a minute, so I don't know how much heavier this is than regular Jordan 3s, but this feels like a heavier sneaker. So then the question comes down to, is this worth $250 at retail or possibly more on resale? I don't think the resale is going crazy right now because you can still get these online at most places. But do you want these at a $250 premium? The first question you have to ask or answer for yourself is, do you like the way it looks? Because it doesn't matter how premium the materials are. If the aesthetics of the sneaker aren't doing it for you, then who gives a crap if it's made out of 24 karat gold? It looks bad in your eyes. Some people, it looks fire. So if you like the way this looks, if you think this is fire, then go for it. It's a kind of shoe that feels really nice. And I am a firm believer in that certain things can make us feel better and raise our confidence. Like if you've never worn a tailored suit before, it's absolutely something I suggest you make the investment in, because there is nothing like putting on a tailored jacket that is cut to fit your shoulders and arms and chest. I mean, the boost of confidence you get from something like that, which obviously is not a cheap thing, but it makes all the difference, especially going into a job interview. That's a big deal. If you want to up your confidence up, you kind of wear nicer things that you care about. things that make you feel good, that is something that this shoe could provide for you if you are feeling it that way. Me personally, I like the colorway. I don't quite love it, but I do really appreciate what's happening with the sneaker. So I would recommend it to someone that really likes the colorway, because I think when it comes to well-made sneakers, this is a well-made sneaker and put together with really nice materials. That's how this shoe feels as well. I think Nike killed it with the quality control in this aspect. Unlike some of their other higher priced sneakers that kind of fall short, this one, attention was taken. So I will say this is definitely worth it when you compare it to like the $700, $800, $900, $1,200 BS designer sneakers that are using the same types of leather, maybe even cheaper types of leather. And let's be real, they don't look as good as a Jordan 3. So when it comes to that, if you're thinking about Gucci sneakers versus these all day. And that does it for me, guys. Thank you for joining me on this video of these Jordan 3s in the Animal Instinct 2.0 colorway. So let me know what you think about these sneakers down in the comments below. Did you get your hands on a pair? Are you looking to get your hands on a pair? Do you think it's worth the price point? All of that. I would love to respond to you guys down in the comments. I try to respond to every single comment I get on any video I get, so engagement is there. I want to talk sneakers with you guys, and please consider hitting that like and subscribe and join us on the journey to 10,000 subscribers. Super excited to keep growing this channel and keep getting sneakers in for you guys to give you my honest thoughts and impressions. So with that being said, hope you have a good day, good evening, good night whenever you're watching this, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.